is always the main ingredient in building cars. I'm just rounding off them sharp corners on this. Now, if anybody ever opens the hood or touches it or anything, they're not going to cut their fingers or hurt them. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut my notches out. Once again, I've already checked it 2 times. I checked it on the car and I checked it with my hood latch rod. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them 2 notches out. Now I'm going to stress, don't go too far out, because when you close your hood, and if you look to the side of the hood, you'll be seeing a gap there. That's where you want to come in, 1/4 inch to 3/8. Okay, that's roughed in. Once again, I'm going to stress that everything we're doing right now is we're just roughing it in. You're probably thinking to yourself, okay, the next step is to install this. No, you're wrong. Okay? Just because we cut these holes out doesn't mean that that's where you bolt it. Let me tell you why. First of all, if you notice real close here, this thing's moving in and out of here. It could be sticking, you know, when we get the hood on, it can be right there, or it can be out here. We don't know yet. So what I do, a lot of people, what they do is they'll go ahead and bolt this on now. You don't want to do that. What you do want to do though, since we got our notches cut out, you want to go ahead and put your hinges back on and bolt this on there. What that's going to do, that's going to raise that up like that. And then we're going to take our hood, and as we open this up, we're going to slide the hood onto this. That's going to tell us where we need to mark our holes to drill it so we can get it in line. So let me get the hinges on there, get this bolted on, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, if you notice, I'm finishing up here, putting the hinge back on. The hinge is back on the car, and what I've done, I went ahead and bolted the hinges to our rod. Now what's real important when you do this, these are made out of aluminum, and to put these hinges on correctly, the best way to do it, because they actually fit pretty tight, they're a pretty precise fit, the best way to do it is go back and forth and bring it up slowly with each one. Don't go ahead, don't tighten one up and then, you know, go to the other one, because it's going to be binded up and you're going to strip your threads out or crack your hinge. Now, Jeff told you that these hinges are pretty delicate, as you can see the way they move. Okay, we don't want to bind those hinges up, it'll make them weak and loose. Now, if you notice, I cut my angle bar on the chop saw over there. This is why. If you come over here and look at this, you'll see that once you put your hinge on it, the angle actually goes in past the cowling. And the cowling is at an angle this way. So, if I would not have cut that off, this would actually have binded up on the cowling, and it would have been sitting like this. It would have been probably like that, right? That's where it would have hit, and it would never have shutted right. So there you go. That's a very, very good tip, and it's going to save you a lot of time from messing around and getting frustrated. Just to let you know to do that before you run into the problem of getting all this on there and then say, what the heck, you know. Okay, that's just a little anger management program that we came up with for y'all. So we got our bar installed. The next step is we got to slide our hood on, which is right here, and hopefully we, you know, marked our holes right. We got to slide our hood on and make sure all this lines up like it's supposed to be. Now we do want a small gap up here, okay? Because if you notice, like I said, okay, the hinges will compensate for the gap, and the hood should be raised up just enough where it makes all the body lines look the same. Now, this isn't a factory Ford. This is not made at the Ford factory company. This is made by you and me. So, different gaps are going to vary on different cars. Okay, they're not all going to go on exactly the same. but you want to take your time and, you know, try to get all the gaps of the vehicle the same. If it doesn't come out the same, you know, don't stop there, don't get frustrated. That just happens to be how that hood fits on that car. As long as it's all lined up, once it's all painted, you won't even notice that anyway. This is the main part that you want to make sure that's lined up. Okay? So let me get that hood. I'm going to see if I can do that by myself. It's a lot easier if you have two people. But we're going to go ahead and get it on there. So you kind of stick your hood over here like this. You're not going to scratch anything. Line your slots up, like so. Kind of get down here and look at it. And it should slide on. There you go. Now, there you go. There's your hood. Slid on just like I did, and you look at it, and it's looking really nice here. That's looking good. I like that. But I looked up here at the front corner, and I told you this is your main concern. And I noticed that it's hanging over about 1/8 of an inch. So what that's telling me is the pockets that I cut out for the hinges, what I'm going to have to do is notch each pocket out this much. And what I'm going to do is eyeball that gap. I'm going to take off approximately that much more. And that should line everything up. So we go ahead and do that again. Slide it on here, just like this. And keep your pencil handy because you're going to need it here in a few seconds. And get the hood lined up. Give it a good look down here. Slide it on. Now, what I did is I notched that out, so now I can push that back to where it's supposed to be. If you look real close, that actually lined it up better. So I'll just have to do minimal sanding there. Once that hood is where you want it like that, okay, once that hood is where you want it, you want to go ahead and get your tape. Tape it down one more time. And you want to take the tape, look down your body line over here, make sure this is running in the middle, and the gap's looking good over here, so I'm going to tape the hood down right there. We'll go ahead and put a piece in the center. I'm going to stick a piece over here on this side. I'm going to come over here. The gap looks good right here if you want to. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and tape that down. And I'm not putting any pressure on it. I'm holding it lightly. And since our grill ain't in there, the side panels are going to kind of be flimsy. But we're going to go ahead.